This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin Freakin.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol, live. The freaking Thursday. I missed a day. Warlord was afraid that I didn't live. As always, if I miss a night, the most likely scenario is that I walked into my bedroom, saw my cats laying on the bed, and cuddled up with them and took a nap. And that's what happened last night. Maybe it was the couch, maybe it was the couch. Could be the couch, could be the bed, either or. It's just one of those days. I ate some food. I got high. I fell asleep. Local elections, you say? Warlord, you want to talk about election? You know what we're going to talk about tonight? We're going to talk about a murder suspect. We're going to talk about a murder suspect who still won a GOP primary despite the fact that he's currently incarcerated. You want to talk about elections? We've got election coverage tonight. God damn. The real reason I wasn't on last night is because I saw the video of Madison Cawthorn and just couldn't pull myself together to be able to do a show after what I witnessed. Now, some of you will notice it is Cinco de Mayo. You guys know I love changing up my graphics to match holidays. I did 100% make Cinco de Mayo graphics. I sent them to Sparkles to see what she thought, and she told me they were racist. She told me they were racist and not to use them. So that's why there are no tacos on the screen. Sparkles said no. And then educated me on the French-Mexican War and the Battle of I forgot now. The Battle of something or other that happened on this day. No, I want to learn something. So we're gonna see what Sparkles told me. She educated me. The Battle of Puebla. I'm sorry. Okay, I did change them. I changed my graphics to where I corrected the thing that Sparkles said was racist about my graphics. So if I were to put them on screen, it would not be the same graphics that Sparkles called racist. I corrected them, but however, she told me I should just give them their day, not encroach on it. What is up, Ginger? They're ragging me because Sparkles said my Cinco de Mayo graphics were racist, so I shouldn't use them. Here's your meme for the day. What's the worst banning abortion could do? Here's a few examples. Hitler 2, Osama bin Baby, or second James Corden, just to name a few things could go wrong with banning abortion here in the United States. Cancel Justin. Everybody's been on the cancel Justin thing. Curiouser was like, there's no stream tonight? I fell asleep. And she was like, hashtag cancel Justin. So, the graphics that I made for today looked like this. However, there was something up with the troll. The troll was still in the middle, and Sparkles thought that what I did to the troll pretty racist. So we're gonna go back to normal Troll Patrol overlay, and then we're gonna read about the Battle of Puebla. Battle of Puebla took place on the 5th of May, Cinco de Mayo, 1862, near Puebla City. during the Second French Intervention in Mexico. Intervention? I think that's putting it mildly. Battle ended in a victory by the Mexican army over a French expeditionary force. The French eventually overran the Mexicans in subsequent battles, but the Mexican victory at Puebla against a better equipped force provided a patriotic boost to the Mexicans. The anniversary of the victory is primarily celebrated in the Mexican state of Puebla, where the holiday is celebrated as El Día de la Batalla de Puebla, the day of the Battle of Puebla. There is some limited recognition of the holiday in other parts of the country. In the United States, Cinco de Mayo has evolved into a holiday celebration of Mexican heritage. We're not going to talk about what I did to the troll that might have been perceived as racist. And we learned some culture. We learned there was a sombrero. There was a sombrero involved. But apparently I took it a step too far. It wasn't just the sombrero that was racist. I was awful proud of my graphics, though. Old man Jake says weed. Don't mind if I do. I've got to pack my bong here. Apparently, Speedy Gonzalez was taken off of the air for cultural insensitivity, and Mexican people protested in order to get Speedy Gonzalez back. I don't know. You know, those right wingers love to show how, you know, Latinx, not a popular term among Hispanic individuals. Talking about Latinx, we're just talking about a government classification. Amnestic, what is up? Oh, in case you guys didn't get to see today's fire meme. Hey! Fucking Windows. It does some weird things sometimes. Fuck you, Windows. Trying to catch up. Old man Jake told me to weed a few minutes ago, so light is up. Yesterday was May 4th. You've been following the stream for some time. You might know that the past two May 4ths, I've watched Star Wars for the first time. I had never seen Star Wars my entire life, until I was 35. I watched my first Star Wars when I was 35. On May 4th, I watched the very first one. I'd always contemplated perhaps watching them in chronological order, but my buddy said don't do that. If you watch the very first one in chronological order, you won't watch the rest of them. So I did them in the order that they came out. Episode 1, if you will. 2 years ago, I watched Return of the Jedi last year. No, I watched The Empire Strikes Back last year. Last night, Return of the Jedi, the third one. It's alright. That's all I got to say. It's alright. I don't know, man. Like, I think you gotta have the member berries about that shit. It's gotta be like a childhood memory for you. Cause like it didn't hit with me. Like, it's okay. Like, the very first movie is a well done movie. The other two are fine. Congratulations that your GF got their HRT prescription. Fantastic. Always love seeing people get the gender affirming care that they deserve. We're gonna talk about some bullshit tonight. We're gonna talk about the abortion battle. Lots of abortion shit. Geraldo and Greg Gutfeld got into it on the 5. Apparently, it's a knockdown, drag out fight. I look forward to watching that. Don Jr. having a meltdown over the leak. Some indication of who the leak might have come from. Justice Alito has pulled out of an event that he was scheduled to speak at later this week. That be an indication that it perhaps came from his office. Several right-wingers have called for the impeachment of whatever justice leaked it, if it was indeed a justice. So I would love it if they stuck to it if it ended up being Alito. Okay, so it hasn't been overturned yet. A draft opinion was leaked. So it could be the opinion that they are getting ready to issue come June, July that will indeed strike down Roe v. Wade. That's where we're at. It leaked a couple of days ago. I think Monday evening. The news was leaked to Politico that a draft opinion had already been written overturning Roe v. Wade, but the opinion has not been issued. It was Alito that drafted the opinion, but it's quite possible that it was Alito's office that leaked it. We're going to talk about the Dave Chappelle attacker. Of course, that's the thing all the right-wingers are talking about. Dude had a knife concealed as a gun? Only in the U.S. do you conceal a knife inside a gun. Okay, we've got all kinds of video, including the dude's rap videos. We're going to watch the dude's rap videos. Oh, we're going to talk about thought crimes. PragerU has a video called The Cops Thought Police or some shit like that. We're going to juxtapose that to the teacher in Florida who has been fired for being openly pansexual. Thought police indeed. But first, starting off the night with some good news. Stonks. Fox describes it as stock carnage. Dow drops 1,000 points, the NASDAQ off 5%, the S&P down 3.5%. Which is weird because we're looking at it right here and it's all saying up. But they're having a meltdown over a slight shakeup in the market.
On the phone now is Eddie Gabor. Eddie is the man who's been consistently right about this market, forecasting a heavy sell-off in the first quarter and in the beginning of the second quarter of this year. Eddie Gabor's on the phone.
I second what Tone said.
That you're talking about, what's it called, a capitulation sell?
I second the radical left woke transsexual mob swarming me. I would be into that.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Is this it?
We're not there yet, Stuart. As I told you a couple of weeks ago when the VIX was at 20, we need to see the VIX into the 40s before we can capitulate. I know I used a strong term a couple of days ago about the word crash. And what I mean by that is well over a 20% drop in the broader market. But if you look at a lot of individual securities, they are crashing. The darlings of last year, many of them are down over 50%.
Good.
And again, people keep trying to find the bottom, and I don't think we're there yet.
Well, why don't you think it's the bottom?
Okay, by the way, this comes on the heels of the Fed announcing a slight increase in interest rates. Just a slight increase.
Yet. Why not the bottom yet?
Because a couple of things. Number one is the mega cap tech stocks still have not taken the beating that I believe they should. The larger cap tech stocks are still
high enough for this shit.
Are only down maybe 12 to 13%. S&P is only down about 13% year to date. That is not a bear market. We're going to need to get to at least 20%. And here's another thing. The Fed was extremely hawkish yesterday. I know the narrative said they weren't. They just told us they're going to raise 50 basis points 3 times. The market can't handle that.
So most of this.
No. When he says the market can't handle
result
that, he is saying that the banks are going to cry about it.
People looking clearly at the Fed and saying they're going to.
Ricky the Great One, welcome.
That's what's going on in this market, you think?
Well, it's the combination of how
Someone shout Ricky out on Twitch.
Into the economic slowdown. The narrative continues to be that the economy is strong. I completely disagree with that. I think the economy is very fragile. The Fed
I think I agree with this dude.
Said that inflation is a very tough thing on families. Well, if it's a very tough thing on families,
Thank you, Tones.
that equate to a strong economy?
Go follow
We are not in
Ricky.
a strong economy. The economy is slowing down at a very fast rate, and when you tighten monetary policy at the same time, that's
If you're on YouTube, follow Ricky's YouTube channel.
drops in risk assets. And look, I feel for the
just
folks
click
that are
on their
bringing it
name.
all the way down. But those that think it can't get any worse, again, I think they're going to be sorely mistaken, unfortunately.
Eddie, I feel bad because I've just issued an editorial literally 10 minutes ago in which I said we've returned to a positive mood because the pandemic is over. It's no longer...
The pandemic is not over. The pandemic is not over. This was this morning. This was this fucking morning. This is this fucking morning. Dude, the pandemic is not over, and I will show you all the proof you need of that here in just a second. Because the numbers are not looking good. Holy shit.
Traveling, spending money again. That kind of contradicts what you just said. You think the economy is fragile. I'm saying there's a positive mood in it. Hold on a second. Lauren's with me.
But we have a strong job market. And we can't overlook that in all this. And maybe Eddie could respond to the fact that the Fed's dual mandate is to control inflation, which affects 100% of people at all levels, and to,
What do you
keep
say to that?
unemployment low. And right now the job market's strong.
It's a very strong job market. What do you say to that, Eddie?
They don't like that.
Strong job market is why the Fed is not going to be able to get inflation down because of the wage inflation. That when you look at the bottom line of these profits that are coming in, like J.P. Morgan, I believe their profits were down 43%. That's first quarter.
Good.
A big part of that is wage increases. That's a big part of inflation that not a lot of people are talking about. So this tight labor market is extremely inflationary. And at the end of the day, the consumer is going to be the one that has to pay that. So the tight labor market isn't going to.
If you want to, there's a caveat to that. The consumer is going to be the one to have to pay that if they don't cut their corporate profits. If the CEO and the stockholders don't take a hit. That's all there is to it.
Get natural gas. Look how high natural gas is. That's not coming down anytime soon. And so we're in this spot where the...
You want to talk about worker productivity?
Get really, really squeezed here, and profits are compressing extremely fast.
Okay. Eddie, look, thanks very much.
Good. They should be compressing extremely fast and going to the workers. That's a good thing. You're talking about it as if it's a bad thing, sir. I do think we're on the precipice of a crash, so... Axios says stocks are boring, though. I don't understand how they're bitching about the drop in the market while also having all the markets up according to the index. Oh. Now they're down. The markets are closed. I don't know how that's a thing.
Is Eddie Gabor. Eddie is the...
A second ago, all of those were in the green. That matches what the story was about. I don't know how finance shit works. All I know is I own some penny stock, and if that company ever does anything, I'm gonna be well. I got it for doing some work for the company, for doing some video editing for them. Merkin, you're right. I have been expecting a bubble, a second home mortgage crisis, the student loan bubble. All fucking coalescing together to a crash that has been a long time a-coming. You are exactly right. The Obama administration did everything they could to Band-Aid it. That's why the Fed has been keeping interest rates low. Life is going to get sadder again soon, yes. Blame it on the Democrats and the Republicans will win election again. It's a horrible cycle. Stocks are boring again, and that's good news, according to Felix Salmon for Axios. We've reverted to normal, and all things considered, it's not so bad. For the first time in well over a decade, it's hard to look at the stock market and declare that it's being artificially boosted by ultra-low interest rates. Huh? Now that rates are positive and are expected to continue to rise, some of the most high-flying stocks have fallen sharply to earth. But the stock market as a whole looks remarkably healthy. See, we're getting conflicting reports. Even the two Fox hosts couldn't agree on whether the market is healthy or not. I don't think it is. I think it is absolutely is artificially inflated. Twitter isn't worth what it says it's worth. Tesla isn't worth what it says it's worth. Facebook isn't worth what it says it's worth. Google might actually be worth what it's worth. Uber isn't worth what it's worth. Our economy is totally speculative. And like Tesla's worth is based on the idea that they would have self-driving cars already. The Uber's worth is based on the idea that they would have self-driving cars already. Artificially inflated. So I don't know if I agree with this article. But hey, he's the expert in finance, not me. I'm a dumb shit that doesn't know fuck about numbers. I can't even do math. Now that rates are positive and are expected to continue to rise, some of the most high-flying stocks have fallen sharply to earth, but the stock market as a whole looks remarkably healthy. The S&P 500 is having a bad morning on Thursday, bring it to a level roughly 13% below the all-time high seen in January, but it's still up 25% from the pre-pandemic high and 270% the 2007 pre-financial crisis high point. For substantially all of that time, the long bull market in stocks could be explained by extraordinary action from the world's central banks, which drove interest rates to zero and promised to keep them there to counteract the effects first of the global financial crisis and then of the COVID-19 pandemic. No longer is that the case. The market is pricing in overnight rates at 2.8% by the end of this year. Long-term real rates are also normalizing. The 10-year Treasury bond hit 3% this week. A 30-year mortgage is likely to cost you 5.5% at this point. Higher interest rates mean that faraway profits are worth much less than they were just a few months ago. More generally, they also tend to tame animal spirits and reduce risk appetite. There's lessons. That's some kind of fucking market speak. Animal spirits, I would assume, is referring to like the bear market. There's less incentive to swing from the fences if you can't get a guaranteed risk-free return. Investment strategies have moved from get rich quick to get rich slowly. Retail investors aren't panicking and pulling their funds out of the market. They're just less enthusiastic about meme stocks and NFTs. Which sucks because, by the way, I have submitted the very first Troll Patrol NFT. I should know by like tomorrow or Monday whether it has been okayed. I really like the design. I've already started working. There's going to be one first issue Troll Patrol NFT. It's going to be $35.69. I do not want to make it so expensive that people wouldn't want to buy it, but if you wanted to grab it and it happens to fucking do something, because the troll design is far cooler than the Bored Ape. I'm just saying. So maybe if I can get featured on Reddit or something, I can actually make the troll designs worth something. I'm sorry. I do not encourage you. Don't buy them. Don't fucking buy them. But if you wanted to, I get 70% of the $35 and I get 7% of every sale after somebody buys it. I think it's a neat design. I put some work into it. It is actually one of the alternate designs of the troll that you see in the Troll Patrol logo. But apparently I picked a bad time to start doing NFTs. I get a cut of each resale. Yes, that's why I'm going to do one that's $35.69. That's the very first one. And then I'm going to do a run of like 10. And they're going to be $25.69. I want to make a cryptocurrency called like Trollcoin. Or Soros Bucks. I've already got the fucking design for the Soros Bucks. If Sparkles wants to give me a design for an NFT, I will totally put that together for her. That's a Sparkles decision. That's not a me decision. I own the troll head. I made the troll head. That's my own show. I mean, like, unless Hasbro or whoever owns the trolls comes after me for the fucking hair. I should be in the clear. Get some right wingers or morons bucks. I don't know anything about any of this shit. I do not encourage you. Sparkles is pooping, but heard her name. They want to know if you want an NFT. Sparkles totally saw the NFT. I've already showed her the design. And also, I said to her, "Hi guys, have you heard about NFTs?" Oh fuck, that happened. That totally happened. By the way, tomorrow night is the Friday Night Freak Show. Join us. Sparkles, Lavendar, and myself. I'll totally fucking like show off NFTs on your dating app, please. That would be a good way to get my NFTs out there. But no, if I can get on Reddit or shit, like the troll design is much cooler than the Bored Ape. I'm just saying. Victor Chouse. Yes, I was doing the Victor Chouse voice. Man, that episode killed me. Old man Jake, I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. I do not encourage anybody to get an NFT, but if you do, like, I want to make sure, like, you guys buy it at the original price, and then I'm gonna try to, which I feel is reasonable. I can't go lower than 20. I felt $25.69, $35.69 for the first one. I thought those were perfectly reasonable. And then I'm actually going to try to juice them up on Reddit because they're cooler. They're cooler than the Bored Ape. Buy an NFT. Buy Justin Freakin's NFTs. I sell it to you guys. Nah. Dude, Jake has called in a couple different times. Porg is always on top of things. Like, yes, call in. Trying to stir the pot. But I've been told that's what everybody likes is callers. I didn't think it sounded like crap. I mean, I'm not expecting you to sound, like me. I don't know how you people see ads because I don't watch some ads. Old man Jake is reasonable. We can find some common ground with old man Jake. Let's go from stonks to let's go from stonks to labor. Chris Smalls, the head of the Amazon Labor Union, was in front of the Senate Banking Committee today. Met with Joe Biden as well at the White House. Actually had a funny tweet. Boom. Just met the president. He said, I got him in trouble. Good. His jacket said "Eat the Rich." By the way, I think that's badass. He walked up in there looking like that. And I hate to make fun of the way somebody looks, but what's with this thumb head over here? Like, what, dude, what? He looks very concerned as well.
Thank you for having me. First of all, I want to address Mr. Graham. First off, it sounded like you was talking about more of the companies and the businesses in your speech, but you forgot that the people are the ones who make these companies operate, and that we're not protected, and that the process for when we hold these companies accountable is not working for us, then that's the reason why we're here today. That's the reason why I'm here to represent the workers who make these companies go. And I think that it's in your best interest to realize that it's not a left or a right thing. It's not a Democrat or a Republican thing. It's a workers thing. It's a workers issue.
Bernie fucking
we are the
Sanders.
ones that are suffering in the corporations that you're talking about, in the businesses that you're talking about, in the warehouses that you're talking about. So that's the reason why I think I was invited today to speak on that behalf. And you should listen, because we do represent your constituents as well. So just
old lady Graham ain't gonna listen to shit you have to say.
People are the ones that make these corporations go. It's not the other way around.
I am sorry, Chris. Like, if I may call you Chris. Like, Lindsey Graham has no concern for what you have to say. He probably has a disdain for the fact that you were up there talking to him the way you are, young man. Bernie Sanders is on the dais over next to Lindsey Graham. And Bernie Sanders is also on my shirt, surrounded by kitties.
So, as the current interim president of the Amazon Labor Union, who represent 8,300 workers in Staten Island, an independent worker-led union that won their election on April 1st. I'm going to tell you this. We organized for over a year. And throughout the course of that year, Amazon spent millions of dollars, as you mentioned, Senator Sanders. Myself, including a few other organizers, was arrested outside for organizing.
I like a Caribbean jerk.
Food to their coworkers.
Borg poses a fantastic question. Sparkles likes a brine. I'm a big fan of it. Like, there's a Caribbean jerk marinade I'm really fucking into. Also, I'm a big fan of bourbon peppercorn, brown sugar bourbon. Really like the bourbon flavor. Throw in some ginger, some soy. You want to brine your shit for 24 hours. I don't like pickles, so I don't use a pickle brine. But I use some water, some vinegar, some salt. Throw in some turmeric, some cumin, paprika, chili powder, a little sriracha. What were we even making? I forgot. Oh! We're eating the rich. We were asking what's the marinade to eat the rich. That's a very good question. I do not know. I do not know what human meat actually tastes like. The assumption is that it tastes like chicken, right? Because everything just kind of tastes like chicken. I've never gotten like turmeric like as the root. Like I've always got it pre-ground. I know it's not as good. Too much of a hazard. Also, like I'm from Appalachia, you know, finding shit like that. And get some fresh parsley. Tofu. Human flavored tofu. That's a thing? Who tasted it? I've got some questions for the person who tasted it. The scientist that like had to like, oh, this is the flavor I'm going for. Tastes like pork? Okay, I can see that. I fucking love pork. I'm a huge fan of pork. Would you what do you guys suggest? Do you want to make like fucking human chops? I guess you could cut the body up the same way you would like any like a bacon out of it. You get you some chops, get you some steaks, the wings. Salty. I can imagine we're salty. What weirdos we are. Talking about this shit. Rids and roast. Yeah, we're running people off from the stream talking about how we're gonna like cook people. I'm probably violating terms of service somehow. This is strictly a thought experiment. We're not meaning anything like that. God damn. I'm sorry, Amazon overlords. Nom. Go back to Mr. Christian Smalls, the president of the Amazon Labor Union.
I wanted to reiterate that as well. You know, the type of things that Amazon do, breaking the law, intimidation.
Breaking the law, breaking the law.
Traumatize workers in this country. You know, thousands of workers across this country who are in the process of organizing, who have the desire to organize in the United States. We want to feel that we have protections. We want to feel that the government is allowing us to use our constitutional rights to organize. The notion that people in the united in this democracy will outmatch tyranny is the oldest American ideal. There's clearly defined legal process to do this.
Yes. My apologies to my Amazon overlords who are hosting me right now on Twitch. All hail King Bezos. We love you. I would do anything for you.
And workers like us have the rights protected by the First Amendment and the National Labor Relations Act. However, despite all of this, our victory in Staten Island was lauded as newsworthy and inspirational for the thousands of workers across the country, hundreds of thousands of workers.
Very pro-Amazon.
Even though we may have won, we did everything
Ethan
right
Vaughn.
Amazon to recognize our victory. And
Sparkles says that Amazon sounds like Ethan Vaughn. Order something from Ethan Vaughn when you order something from Amazon. I'm not shitting you. That happened. Oh, fucking shit. Ethan Vaughn and Amazon sound just alike. Package from Ethan Vaughn. Just so you know. If you know, you know.
comply with our legal obligation to meet us at the bargaining table. But Amazon is refusing to do so. As you mentioned, they're going to stall
Oh, Ida smells like hamburgers when they cauterize her wound.
They got the NLRB to move the hearing to a whole nother location. To me, it just sounds like the corporations have the control, and they control whatever they want. They break the law, they get away with it. They know that already, that breaking the law during these election campaigns won't be resolved during the election campaigns.
Yep,
So they
yep.
continue to break the law. For example, we filed over 40 ULPs in 11 months. Most of them quite a few of them got merit for further action. Some of them even got injunctions. For example, Gerald Bryson was fired 2 years ago. Finally,
Who's wasting meat around here?
there's a 10J in motion for his reinstatement. Another prime example, Daquan Smith was fired by the company for organizing. He's still out of a job. He's living in a shelter.
I think they have ruled in his favor that he was indeed wrongfully
These are
terminated.
just a few examples, including myself, who's been out of a job for the last 2 years. I want to just end off by saying this. We need to pass the PRO Act so that workers are protected and workers are encouraged to organize. And if that don't work, I'm going to let you know right now that on behalf of the Amazon Labor Union and the hundreds of thousands of workers across this country.
Can we find out who this guy is? Because he looks like he would be very juicy. There's a lot of meat to go around. Let's find out his net worth and see if we can start with him. Because he just looks tasty. He looks tasty to me. I don't know what you guys think.
That we will continue to organize. And once again, I want to remind you that this is not a left or right thing. This is a working class issue. And the workers at the bottom are the ones who make these corporations go. Thank you.
Thumb Man is a feast. Thumb Man is a feast. Is Sparkle still in here? What'd you think? Would you eat Thumb Man?
For the action.
Is Thumb Man a whole snack? God damn, we're fucked up. His neck alone would feed an army. Well marbled. Oh no, Sparkles passes. What do you find wrong with him? She sent me. She was talking to this guy on Plenty of Fish or something like that. One of those Bumble, something like that. And she sent me the messages. I saw nothing wrong with the guy. He seemed nice. And he was playing along with all the fucked up shit she was saying. And I'm like, why are you fucking with him like that? What was wrong with him? And then she turned around and was like, my friend wants to know what's wrong with you. And I'm like, I didn't mean what's wrong with him. What do you find wrong with him? He seems normal. Moving on. Worker output actually fell 7.5% in the first quarter, the biggest decline since 1947. I personally wonder if perhaps that has something to do with the Omicron wave and the soft shutdowns that we actually saw. Productivity fell 7.5% in the first quarter, the fastest decline since 1947. At the same time, labor costs, as measured against productivity, soared 11.6%. Not high enough, bringing the increase over the past 4 quarters to 7.2%, the fastest rise in about 40 years. Weekly jobless claims increased to 200,000, well above the Wall Street estimate. Productivity fell to start 2022 at its fastest pace in nearly 75 years, while labor costs soared as the U.S. struggled with surging COVID cases, Bureau of Labor Statistics reported on Thursday. Non-farm productivity, a measure of output against hours worked, declined 7.5% from January through March, the biggest fall since the third quarter of 1947. Same time, unit labor costs soared 11.6%, bringing the increase over the past 4 quarters to 7.2%, the biggest gain since the third quarter of 1982. Metric calculates how much employers pay workers in salary and benefits per unit of output. Wall Street already had been looking for a 5.2% drop in productivity and an increase of 10.5% in unit labor costs. Fourth quarter basis productivity fell 0.6%, the biggest decline since the fourth quarter of 1993. Together, the numbers underline the inflation surge in the U.S., which has seen prices rise at the fastest level in more than 40 years. Federal Reserve officials on Wednesday announced they would be raising interest rates 0.5 percentage point as part of an ongoing effort to control inflation. 0.5 percentage point. That is what the Wall Street fat cats are bitching about. 0.5 percentage point. A separate Labor Department report on Thursday showed that jobless claims increased to 200K. The week that ended April 30th, a 19,000 gain from the previous period and above the Dow Jones estimate for 182,000. 82,000. Well, buckle up because I think you're going to see more of the same in the second quarter because cases of COVID are climbing. But I laugh at the Fox Business host said the pandemic was over. COVID cases jump in the Northeast and in the Pacific Northwest. The change in reported COVID-19 cases per 100,000 people in the last 2 weeks. The dark purple are all increasing. State of Washington, Oregon, Hawaii, Illinois, Jersey, Maryland, New York, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Maine, Vermont, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, all increasing. The central part of the United States, all seeing a mild tick up. Apparently DC is ticking down right now, which is weird given the news I'm getting ready to tell you. Remember when we were doing the correspondence dinner on Sunday night and I said this was totally a super spreader event? Well, wouldn't you know who won the pony? If you listen to the Jim Cornette podcast, that just popped you. Virus cases grow after the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Saturday, comedian Trevor Noah stood before a ballroom of 2,600 journalists, celebrities, and political elites at the White House Correspondents Association dinner and asked, "What are we doing here? None of you learn anything from the gridiron dinner?" By Wednesday, Noah's chiding remarks at what he called the nation's most distinguished super spreader event were beginning to appear prophetic, as a growing number of attendees, including a string of journalists, and Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said they had tested positive for the virus. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said on Wednesday that President Joe Biden had tested negative Tuesday after attending the dinner unmasked. Psaki added that Blinken was not considered a close contact to Biden and has not seen the president in several days. A growing number of cases presented another sign of an official Washington that has largely returned to pre-pandemic routines, even as officials still urge Americans to take precautions. Has decided to live with the result. Journalists across several major news organizations reported testing positive. Among those were Jonathan Karl, ABC News' chief Washington correspondent, who shook hands with Biden during the dinner, and Steve Herman, chief national correspondent at Voice of America. CNN reported that those infected also included staff members from its network, as well as NBC News, CBS News, and Politico. It was unclear how many cases had been confirmed as of Wednesday evening. Steve Portnoy of CBS News, president of the White House Correspondents Association, said late Wednesday that the number of cases that have been brought to my attention now totals less than 1% of dinner attendees. He added that many social gatherings in Washington over the weekend had more lenient COVID-19 protocols than the association's dinner. The dinner required proof of vaccination and same-day negative test, and boosters were strongly encouraged. Some of the people reporting infections also said they had attended other gatherings over the weekend. These of the dinner expressed resignation as the number of confirmed cases grew over the course of the day on Wednesday. Why are you saying I'm from a pod? She makes this point about me being from a pod many times, but like, I don't know what it means. I live in the world. I go outside. Not so much anymore because, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new variant. New subvariant is spreading rapidly in the United States. First cases spread after White House Correspondents' Dinner. Secretary Blinken tests positive. COVID-19 has been a leading cause of maternal deaths in Latin America. Moderna reaps a $5.9 billion profit from its COVID-19 vaccine sales. New coronavirus surge is sweeping Puerto Rico. It took hold as soon after restrictions were lifted. Of course. First came Omicron, then came its highly contagious subvariant, BA2. That subvariant gave rise to its own subvariants, whose share of new coronavirus cases in the United States is growing. The coronavirus is constantly mutating. While some variants seem to vanish, causing little ripples of surges in their wake, others have kept driving large outbreaks. Experts say a new form, BA.2.12.1, spreading rapidly, will probably become the dominant form of the virus in the United States in the next few weeks. There's no indication yet that it causes more severe disease than earlier forms did. Week ending Saturday, BA.2.12.1 made up about 36% of all new cases in the United States, according to estimates from the CDC. That's up from 26% of cases in the prior week, 16% of infections during the second week in April. God damn it. This also comes as news that I've been saying all along through this. Pretty much been confirmed. Nearly 15 million deaths have been associated with COVID-19. 3 times the official number. World Health Organization estimates that nearly 15 million people were killed either by coronavirus or by its impact on overwhelmed health systems during the first 2 years of the pandemic, more than double the current official death toll of over 6 million. Just shy of triple, I'm sorry to correct myself. Most of the deaths occurred in Southeast Asia, Europe, and the Americas, according to... Okay, that's most of the world, I guess, excluding Africa and Antarctica. UN Health Agency's Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, I always fuck his name up. I've said it multiple times. Ghebreyesus described the newly calculated figure as sobering, saying it should prompt countries to invest more in their capacities to quell future health emergencies. WHO tasked scientists with determining the actual number of COVID-19 deaths between January of 2020 and the end of last year. They estimated that between 13.3 million and 16.6 million people died, either due to the coronavirus directly or because of factors somehow attributed to the pandemic's impact on health systems, such as cancer patients who were unable to seek treatment when hospitals were full of COVID patients. Based on that range, the scientists came up with the approximated total of 14.9 million. The estimate was based on country-reported data and statistical modeling, but only about half of countries provided information. who said it wasn't able to break down the data to distinguish between direct deaths from COVID-19 and those related to effects of the pandemic. But the agency plans a future project examining death certificates. U.S., we have reached a milestone. 1 million. 1 million.
Compiling data daily from states across the country. And late today, we learned that more than 1 million Americans have now died from the disease, a milestone we didn't want to think about, but knew was coming. In a pandemic that's far from over. Here's Gabe Gutierrez.
Sassy.
It was once unthinkable.
No, I don't think we're even halfway through, so you didn't miss 99%.
The U.S. have now died from COVID-19.
Glad to have you here.
To the ongoing NBC News count.
I just miss everything about her. Everything.
Lisa Wilson of Palm Beach.
You missed the bummer shit. Oh, no, we watched Christian Smalls. That was pretty cool.
County, Florida, lost her grandmother, Lily Mae, to the virus last year.
It was so terrifying. My aunt called me and she said something is wrong with her. She was laid across the bed and she was like gasping for air.
Lisa would say goodbye.
Not high enough for this shit.
But to her uncle.
So funny.
And 4 cousins within weeks. In all, 6 relatives claimed by COVID.
It was very, very hard.
Back in March of 2020,
poor
the
woman.
streets were deserted and morgue trucks first appeared outside hospitals. For many Americans, the idea of 1 million COVID deaths seemed far-fetched.
We could get in the range of 100,000 to 200,000 fatalities.
Dr. Angela Chen of Mount Sinai Hospital diagnosed the first confirmed COVID case in New York, even before the World Health Organization declared the outbreak a global pandemic. When you first made that diagnosis, did you have any idea what this pandemic would become?
Amnestic. So I read what Porg just said, and I have no fucking clue what you guys are talking about. But it seems wild. Because to be completely oblivious to what is going on, and then read, no, I meant they were fucking the gas hole because their fuel was lube. Lube. It was kind of like, what's going on? I was reading shit. I was reading about COVID deaths. Fucking the gas hole. But hey. That sounds like you guys live in sexual anarchy.
You live in sexual anarchy?
1 million fucking COVID deaths. Talking about the Great War. When I last left you guys, we were talking about what kind of marinade we were going to use when we ate the rich. Content warning. We gotta talk about this. We gotta talk about some bullshit. We gotta talk about some bullshit. We gotta talk about some, like, one of those things where, like, you got the old lady out front. Like, I can't believe I still have to protest this shit. I'm sorry, ma'am, that you're still having to protest this shit. Where's my meme? What's the worst that banning abortion could do? You know, we could have a Hitler too. We could have an Osama bin Baby. Or the worst thing of all, a second James Corden. And the little dog in this cartoon says that babies taste like chicken. You guys said humans taste like pork. This was the meme yesterday. Now seems like a perfectly reasonable time to force people to have children. Yep, Scrappy. Trying women for miscarriages. This is exactly where this is going. Louisiana bill would allow murder charges for abortions. Opponents call it barbaric. We're reading from the local news site WWNO, New Orleans. The United States braces for the possible overturning of Roe v. Wade and an end to the constitutional protection of abortion rights. Louisiana lawmakers are advancing legislation that would bolster their ability to criminally punish doctors and individuals who violate the state's abortion restrictions. Louisiana House Committee for the Administration of Criminal Justice advanced legislation on Wednesday that would redefine personhood to begin at the moment of fertilization and would allow prosecutors to charge anyone who undergoes or provides an abortion with murder. House Bill 813 by Representative Danny McCormick. I've heard his name before. This is not the first piece of shitty legislation Danny McCormick has put forward. And that's weird for me to know the name of a representative in a state house I don't fucking live in. But I have heard his name mentioned before. This motherfucker's done some bullshit. House Bill 813, put forward by Representative Danny McCormick, would also allow the state to disregard any federal court rulings contradicting the new law and would grant the legislature the right to impeach and remove any state judges that attempt to block it from taking effect. This is truly draconian. Motherfucker. How can the legislature can take action against the judiciary for not enforcing their shitty ass law? That's not supposed to be a thing in our government. If you don't think the Republicans have gone full-blown fascist, you're not paying attention. The rationale, McCormick said, if more than 15 states can defy the federal government over marijuana, we can do it to save the lives of innocent babies. We cannot wait on the Supreme Court to confirm that innocent babies have the right to life in Louisiana. And that's why I get so upset with the chuckle fucks that always want to talk about, like, oh, I'm for smaller government, I'm for smaller government. You have to have a sufficiently large enough federal government to keep these state governments in check. We have to have a set of rules we all play. There has to be some uniformity and protection of rights in this country. This is Representative Danny McCormick. You are not only a moron, you are fucking evil, dude. You are evil. We need to flush this turd. Committee's overwhelming approval came less than 48 hours after the unprecedented leak of a U.S. Supreme Court draft opinion that showed that the court's conservative majority is prepared to overturn the landmark decision in Roe v. Wade that established a constitutional right to abortion. Also, I said the other night when I was talking about it that the right to privacy was derived from the 4th Amendment. I was confused as the 14th Amendment was the argument. I thought it was the 4th Amendment, the right to be secure in your effects, papers. I was wrong on that. The 14th Amendment, where they derive the right to privacy for a woman. Only 3 countries have rolled back abortion rights since 1994. We're seeing in the blue where abortion is pretty well allowed upon request. Alcohol and rags make excellent candlesticks. They're what's the Mickey Mouse meme that's like the secret tool that'll come in handy later. Ho ho. Yes. The list of countries that actually have banned abortions outright are pretty small. And that's kind of surprising to me. The Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade and paves the way for the states to implement abortion bans. The U.S. would join only 3 countries, El Salvador, Nicaragua, and Poland, who have rolled back abortion rights since 1994, according to the Center for Reproductive Rights. I wonder where those 3 countries have ranked on the Democratic backsliding index. Nearly 60 countries have liberalized their abortion laws, though some only incrementally over the last 25 years. The rollback of abortion rights has come in countries where democracies have eroded, as I speculated. According to Margaret Herpin, a legal advisor at the Center for Reproductive Rights, which advocates for abortion rights advocacy and tracks abortion laws worldwide. At the same time, we've seen a considerable amount of change in recent years and an overall global trend towards liberalization of abortion laws, Harpin tells Axios. Well, good. About 91 million women, though, unfortunately, live where reproductive age... What the fuck? About 91 million women of reproductive age live in 24 countries or territories that prohibit abortion under all circumstances. Salvador, Nicaragua, Honduras, Malta. Malta is the only EU member state to ban abortion with no exceptions. Other countries on the list include the Dominican Republic, Egypt, Haiti, Iraq, Madagascar, Nicaragua, Philippines, Senegal, and Suriname? Saying that right? I have never heard of that country. Country in South America.
Suriname.
Suriname. Suriname. Suriname. Suriname appears to be a little country at the northern part of South America. Interesting. Aww. Sloth? Sloth, is that plural? Yeah, they're super cute. Sorry, we took a detour. Took a detour from the abortion rights. Chucky Schumer says the Senate was going to vote on abortion rights next week. They do not have the votes. They do not have the votes. They do not have the votes to kill the filibuster. They do not have the votes to overcome the 60-vote threshold to overcome the filibuster. It will not pass. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said on Thursday that the Senate will vote next week to codify abortion rights into federal law, even though Democrats lack the votes to ensure the bill's passage. Abortion advocates and Democratic candidates have doubled down on calls for Congress to pass legislation protecting abortion rights since a leaked draft of a Supreme Court ruling overturning Roe v. Wade was published. The measure lacks even 50 votes, far short of the 60 votes it would need, as all Republicans are likely to vote against it. And Senator Joe Manchin voted against similar legislation earlier this year. Oh, even Manchin's not going to vote for that. Fuck off, Joe Manchin. I thought Murkowski and Collins would join with the Democrats. I thought the Republicans might get the 52 votes. Apparently they will not. Question of who leaked the draft memo continues to stir speculation. Latest in speculation comes amid Samuel Alito canceling an appearance after the leak of the draft opinion. He was the author of the opinion, which overturns abortion access. Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito was to be a no-show at a judicial conference starting on Thursday following the leak of a 98-page draft opinion he authored earlier this year in favor of overturning two landmark decisions, Roe v. Wade and Planned Parenthood versus Casey, which guarantee the right to an abortion nationwide. The conservative justice, 72, had been expected to attend the conference for judges from the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, federal court based in New Orleans, and from the District Court of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Texas, but canceled. Spokesperson for the Supreme Court told the news agency Reuters on Wednesday that Alito was not attending, but did not explain why the justice, who is tasked with hearing emergency appeals from the Fifth Circuit, would be absent. Politico first published the leaked draft of Alito's opinion on Monday, flabbergasting court watchers and sending shockwaves across the political landscape. They have erected fences in front of the Supreme Court where there are indeed protests taking place. I am Sparkles. Chief Justice John Roberts confirmed the authenticity of the draft, but called the leak a singular and egregious breach of trust in a statement issued on Tuesday. A final decision on abortion access, which the court is weighing in a case about a Mississippi ban, isn't expected until this summer, and the justices' votes could still change, but such a ruling would effectively end the constitutional right to an abortion and place the regulations up to the individual states. I totally think they leaked it as a way of softening the blow. I think it was the right-wing justices that leaked it. That's why I'm looking at Alito. That's why I'm telling you about Alito canceling his appearance. Apparently Don Jr. got all worked up over this leak, and it's a sight to behold. So strap in, content warning, you got to watch Don Jr., who might have been on cocaine.
You saw the leak.
Ron Filipowski says he did not speed up this video. This video has not been doctored. This is how Don Jr. is normally, apparently.
Guys, you saw the
allegedly. I use the word apparently too much.
Leak from the Supreme Court, an unprecedented thing. This kind of stuff doesn't happen. I don't know that I'm ever aware of a leak. This is not like Congress where everything leaks. And trust me, I've done enough testimony. Things are leaking during closed-door hearings. I get it. The Supreme Court.
Okay. In Don Jr.'s defense, can you blame him for being on drugs? You're a Don fucking Jr. You got to do something to cope. He looks not okay. That is an understatement, amnestic.
Doesn't have leaks. So if there's not a thorough criminal investigation into who leaked privileged documents about a draft decision from the United States Supreme Court, where a small, tiny handful of people have access to it, then we live in a clown show state. We live in a clown show state, folks. For perspective, the FBI sent, I believe it was 15 people to investigate a garage pull. Remember that the NASCAR Bubba Wallace thing? And thought it was a noose. Well, it's a garage pull. Like, basically on every garage of every NASCAR track that anyone's ever been at. Didn't matter. 15 people. And if they don't send people to investigate this, then again,
wow,
we live in a clown show state. Guys, you saw the leak from the Supreme Court. And
sir, we live in a clown show state, but it doesn't really have anything to do with who the FBI does and doesn't investigate. We live in a clown show state where your father was able to become the president. The fucking president. That's a fucking clown show. We live in a clown show state because people actually listen to what you have to say and give you fucking money for like Trump gold cards and shit. Clown show indeed, motherfucker.
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
We live in a clown show state where they pay people like Greg Gutfeld and Geraldo Rivera to argue over goddamn nonsense. This happened on the 5 yesterday or today? I'm not exactly. Yesterday. Yesterday.
Their case so plainly. Yeah. You ask somebody why they're pro-life, they will say, because abortion takes a life and we believe life is sacred. You can disagree with that, But you can't disagree with the simplicity of it, right? But the problem with the pro-choicers is that they don't have the balls to state their case plainly. Just say, like...
Bullshit! Bullshit! I've got the balls to state my case plainly. You cannot convince me. You cannot convince me that it isn't child abuse to bring a child into this world in less than ideal circumstances. I'll not change my mind on that. It is better to have not been born than to be born into a broken home, to a parent with a drug problem. Any number of circumstances. Maybe they just don't want to be fucking pregnant. That is also a right I will fight for. A woman can choose just to not be fucking pregnant if she wants to. That is her right, and we shouldn't shame her for that. So fuck off, Greg Gutfeld.
I prefer freedom over fetuses. Don't sit here and come up with all of these other things like, it's going to be interracial marriage next.
My body, my choice. How much simpler can you get?
Let me finish. You already did your ad hominem. People...
You don't know what an ad hominem means, you stupid fuck. Right wingers are morons. You don't know what the word ad hominem means. I don't know if Gutfeld, I don't know if Geraldo said Gutfeld is a stupid fuck and you shouldn't listen to him on the issue of abortion right before the camera cut on. I'm not sure, but I'm assuming that Geraldo didn't ad hominem him.
You insulted a few people there. We talked about this. People are more concerned about what they lose than what they will gain, because you don't have to imagine loss. All you got to do is talk to somebody who lost a child. But you can't. You don't have to imagine it, and it's there forever. A pro-choice.
That right after this motherfucker accuses Geraldo of a logical fallacy, he commits an emotive argument. You got to think. You talk to somebody who lost a child. That has zero bearing on the argument for an abortion. Absolutely nothing to do with. It's just to try to tug at a heartstring because somebody else lost a fucking child, a woman that doesn't have dominion over her own fucking body. Fuck off, Greg Gutfeld.
Mom can look at her adorable 2-year-old and think my life would be nothing without her in 2022. In 2017, when she was young and single, didn't have a kid, she could only imagine the loss of her freedom. Right? So that's the issue. The issue here is that people need to imagine, right? They can't step back and see how pro-choice arguments are driven by a refusal to imagine what that baby could be.
How freedom arguments, how arguments about freedom.
Suddenly it changes, right? And then they have to create reasons. They have to create all these reasons to be pro-choice, rather than just be honest and say, yeah, it kills an unborn kid, but I prefer my freedom. That's all you got to say. You'll get so much more respect. The other thing that drives me crazy, now that I'm on my soapbox, is it used to be even the pro-choicers would admit that abortion was an ugly thing, but they felt it had to be a necessary evil, something that would be safe and rare. That was the argument you always heard. Yeah. But now, when you go anywhere on social media, it's something to celebrate, to cherish, right? The unborn, to shout.
That's baloney.
No, well,
that's baloney.
I'll give you evidence.
The wire hanger stuck up their privates, trying to get what?
The unborn child. The unborn child becomes.
Before Roe.
This is exactly what I expected. They bring out the old coat hanger.
Somebody rang the bell.
Geraldo, come on, keep going.
Okay, Joey.
Making a fool of yourself.
On this.
Don't you? You know something? What? You insulting punk.
Okay.
Oh, what? Am I your new Bongino?
Go. If you want that role. Joey, go. All right. Hey, listen.
You're both jackasses. Bongino and Gutfeld are both raging jackasses. I don't even want to have to do this next story. I don't want to. Content warning. Oh, what Oh yeah, I've seen the clip about Jesse Waters saying he slashed his wife's tires. The fuck is up with that shit? Why the fuck? The power move and shit. Like, how many women has he slashed the tires of? Fucking weirdos. What rat porg? What are you talking about? I tend to not do people's raps because I don't own the copyright to their songs and shit. Get that fucking claim on my channel. I want my fucking 5 cents from YouTube. Watching a rap what? oh, we have a rap video. The dude that attacked Dave Chappelle has a rap video that we are gonna watch. We're totally gonna watch a rap video. You gotta stick around for that. We are indeed gonna watch a rap video. I teased that earlier. Sorry, Porg, I was confused. Maybe I'm too high for this shit. No. This next shit we're gonna watch is like, you know, sexual anarchy.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Total content warning on this one. Madison Cawthorn has responded to the leaked sex tape. Representative Madison Cawthorn responds to video showing him being crass while naked in bed with his cousin. An opposition group that is actively campaigning against Representative Madison Cawthorn has released a video clip appearing to show the North Carolina Republican naked in bed and, as Cawthorn described it, being crass with a friend and acting foolish. After the video appeared on social media, Cawthorn tweeted, "A new hit against me just dropped." Okay, let's actually hear what he has to say. Want to watch the video? Is it out? Can we watch the video?
Hey everyone, Madison Cawthorn here. Now, I'm sure
is it too much?
Outlandish stuff the media has been putting out about me over the last few weeks. I've really never seen the swamp launch such a coordinated attack against any individual in politics except for Donald Trump. And even though we know the fake news lies about fighters in Congress, like me, I'm sure that many of you still have questions that are reasonable. You know, why are they attacking me? Do any of the allegations have merit? How do you explain some of it?
Yes.
Now, the normal political doctrine.
They're attacking you because you talked about their cocaine-fueled orgies and you called them hypocrites.
Is to ride out
your
the
liability
advisors
too.
Have told me that, Madison, you have such a large lead in the polls. You're the incumbent. Don't worry about this kind of stuff. But I was elected exactly for the reason that I fight back. I won't just roll over and bend the knee. I don't want to waste my time fighting the fake news media and every single narrative they put out. But I feel that I am honor-bound to dispel some of their lies. And I'm going to do it quickly, point by point. Here we go. So first article we have.
Before you dispel their lies, allow me to take us over to the Daily Mail, because of course the Daily Mail is the publication that has the video for us. GOP Congressman Madison Cawthorn seen in nude thrusting video.
Oh my oh. 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 Oh my. He's in his face. Your on my face. Oh my god.
Okay, somebody's filming this. Like, this isn't an intimate moment or anything. Like, somebody's just filming this. Weird. This is weird. This is weird. Sir.
You live in sexual anarchy?
This is just the latest in a series of leaks regarding Madison Cawthorn. I believe his primary is in the next week or two. So that is why you are seeing a trove of things, opposition research on Madison Cawthorn that has been leaked following. I mean, we've got to assume that the cocaine orgy claims are true now, right? Yahoo! Wow, what? Yeah, what the fuck is that? What does that mean? What language is that shit?
Oh my, oh my, oh my, Dude, he's in his face. Your on my face. Oh my god.
I don't fucking know what to say. I don't know what it, but that is the leaked video. Now let's hear Madison Cawthorn, who has only just begun to fight for us.
We have up is from the Washington Post. Now, this is an article that is alleging, and really it's spreading a lie that an ex-staffer told about me, and it was recorded coordinating with a Democratic super PAC that I have closed congressional offices. Nothing could be further from the truth. We have as many offices as possible with our congressional budget. We were really the first freshmen to have all 5 offices up and running on day 1.
In just days, U.S. Congressman-elect Madison Cawthorn will get sworn in as the youngest serving representative.
Who gives a shit about this? We want to talk about you humping the dude.
In his hometown of Hendersonville.
We want to talk about the dude grabbing your crotch. How about all the times you got caught in an airport with a gun?
11,000 constituent inquiries and passed 3 pieces of legislation in the minority, and really that's unheard of in the House.
It isn't gay if it's your cousin. Okay. I don't know what the rules are.
Politico, and now the headline reads, Rep. Madison Cawthorn, exclusive photos. And this article is pushing a ludicrous narrative that I'm some kind of drag queen on the side, aside from being a congressman. And really, this is just poor journalism.
We'd like you better if you were, sir.
Not exactly the same journalism.
You kind of look cute.
Fox or Newsmax. And really, with about 5 minutes of investigation, they could have found that this was taken well before I was in Congress, and even before I was running for Congress. But
like he's 26 or something like that? Dude, it was like when you were 23. It was like a whole 3 years ago or 4 years ago. The fuck are you talking about? Like, you still get judged by the shit you did in high school, dude. You ain't even had your 10-year graduation yet. Fuck off. Like, seriously, like, I'm sure your resume has, like, the clubs you were head of in high school. You probably ain't had fucking real job yet. Jesus. Yes, you're a congressman, I know. What have I done with my life, right? Yeah. And I don't look that cute in drag.
But ask yourself this. Have you ever taken a dumb photo on vacation? Most people have. The media thinks that playing a goofy game on a cruise ship with my friends and family means that I can't serve in Congress.
What was the game?
My mother was literally in that crowd, and if you think I'd do something inappropriate in front of my mom, you clearly don't know what a Southern mom is like. And honestly, I was told that I look pretty good in these pictures, and I think there should be some bipartisan agreement on that. Now, next.
Yes!
ABC News.
Sir, there was indeed bipartisan agreement. We all said you looked cute in the outfit. Yes, sir. You got exactly what you wanted. I'm going to clip this and send it to you, Madison. Yeah, we agree.
News 13, and the headline reads, Group accuses Rep. Cawthorn of misconduct. I love how they say a group is making this accusation, as if there's some form of a benevolent organization just watching out for the good of man because they're such good stand-up people. Now, it fails to mention that the group's name is literally the Fire Madison Cawthorn Political Action Committee. So, of course, a name like that, their attacks are obviously not politically motivated. Of course not. But, of course, the publication fails to make that clear.
Someone should fire your ass.
We've gotten so many of these ridiculous hit piece mailers from my opponents. I'm not sure which ones this one's from, but this one reads that I have a...
Guys, he represents Asheville. Asheville is one of the coolest fucking cities in the country. Like it's called like the Portland of the East. It is an awesome city. But gerrymandering has ended up with him representing Asheville. Fuck off, dude.
Desire to cut Social Security spending, veterans benefits, and defense spending by 33%. Now, their evidence of this? Well, in my new contract with America, which is a 53-point plan to save the nation, I state that I want to cut wasteful...
Is this motherfucker going to run for president?
By the way, I got that idea from President Reagan.
He won't be old enough by the time 2024 comes around, but like he's totally going to go for it, isn't he?
Is why when I say that I want to cut wasteful and useless government spending in order to save us from our debt, you instantly assume I'm talking about veterans, Social Security, and defense. Do you believe that those are wasteful areas? I'm just curious, and I'm sure there's a lot of voters in Western North Carolina that'd like to have an answer to that. Now
he is 26. I was correct.
Now, honestly, this one, this is just pretty good reporting. There's not a lot of narrative to defeat here or misrepresentation, but this one was an actual mistake. You know, I've been pulled over for speeding. My mentality inside the Beltway of Washington, D.C. has always been all gas, no brakes. But I just can't have that same mentality when I'm back home here on I-26 here in town. So lesson learned, I'll slow down on the road, but I won't be slowing down on working to fix Congress. Moving on, also in this article, you know, you all know that I love.
How does he drive? Does he have one of those?
I know the only way I could stand a chance in a life.
He got something for his hands up here to drive. What the?
I wish we didn't live in a fallen and sinful world, but unfortunately we do. I carry a weapon.
A fallen and sinful world.
Obviously, though, I made a mistake. I forgot to disarm before I went through a TSA checkpoint, and that's my bad, and I have to own that one. Now, over here is another mailer, and this one's basically just as dumb as the last one. The says that I want to make your daily lives more expensive, and that I want to make your daily lives more expensive because of my new tax.
That's awesome. They make a lot of options for disabled drivers.
My plan is to get rid of the federal income tax because the government has no right to the profit.
I've never seen one like it's on the steering wheel or something.
We have words for systems like that. Right here, this one's next, and this is from a group that I've never heard of called the Ancestry. This is a headline of just a childish video that my cousin and I made. And my friends, I want to really stress something. You are witnessing one of the first examples of a politician who grew up with a cell phone in their hand.
Oh, that's awesome.
The ability to take photos, videos, and have others use that content as a way to hurt you. Most of my colleagues in Congress right now would not be serving in Washington if they grew up within a single mile of a cell phone growing up. Now, this video is just stupid locker room talk between two cousins that grew up like brothers, taken long before I served in Congress. And my cousin Steven that they're attacking is my ADA. He's family, and he's my best friend. The article published in the tabloid The Daily Mail didn't even bother to fact check any of this or send the video to my office before they ran this.
I mean, what are we fact checking? We just looked at the video. I don't know. Daily Mail say about you that wasn't factual. Congressman Madison Cawthorn seen in nude thrusting video. That's Madison Cawthorn leaked tapes, cocaine and orgy claims, encounters with cops, calling Zelensky a thug, and lingerie photos that put his future in the spotlight. But will voters stick by him after he claimed it's just a blackmail plot? Republican Congressman Madison Cawthorn seen in bizarre nude thrusting video. Nothing is not factual. That's all the article. Oh, here we go. Read article. Since then, an apparent sex tape, improper relations with the staffer, and multiple run-ins with the law enforcement are just a few of the headlines the 26-year-old lawmaker has dealt with in the last few months in his first term in Congress. Cawthorn dismissed the slew of bombshells as a coordinated drip campaign. Sir, you ain't got no drip. You ain't got no drip.
With misinformation. The media lies. It shouldn't surprise any of us. Right here, this is an article published out of New York. And this one is really just pushing an allegation that I have been involved in insider trading. It's ridiculous. This is another example.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Facts simply don't matter to the left. A quick search would have revealed that the information that I had insider knowledge of was publicly available on Instagram. Now, make no mistake, I believe in decentralized cryptocurrency as a way to remove centralized government control of our finances.
Are you asking if there's Madison Cawthorn porn? Are you saying that the art community has already drawn him into shit? Is that what you're getting at? I don't even want to fathom. I don't even want to fathom that. God damn.
how shallow their claims really are. Western North Carolinians know I'm fighting for them in Washington, D.C. And
I mean, I am a dickhead. What is up, Lady B?
Beat the rhinos and the establishment cronies that are trying to beat me, and unite the Republican Party so that we can.
We just watched his leaked video.
I call Washington D.C. elites out on their bullcrap. I expose the corruption that goes on.
This was his response.
And they hate me for it. That is why I'm under attack right now.
But I am fantastic. How are you, Lady B?
Hide behind my position or rest on my laurels. I want to be your warrior and your weapon in Washington. Don't lose hope. Don't listen to the fake news. Don't let the
This is Madison Cawthorn. To catch you up, he just had a video leaked about him where he was apparently humping his cousin in the nude.
Oh my oh. Oh my oh. Oh my oh. Oh my oh. Oh my oh my.
I can't believe this is a video of a sitting congressperson that we are currently watching. And I'm almost certain that the Republicans leaked it. It had to be the Republicans. GOP he has a primary coming up in the next week or two. I'm not exactly sure when it is. The North Carolina primary is May 17th. So not this week, but the next week. Got like another week and a half where he is up re-election in the GOP primary in North Carolina. Now, here's one for you. A candidate who is currently a murder suspect in Indiana won a GOP primary election. Do we have a local news hit on it? Oh, I thought it was going to be a Boone County man currently in jail awaiting the murder trial and the death of his wife has won the Republican primary for a seat on a township board. Andrew Wilhoit received 60 votes, 21% of the vote in the GOP race for the Clinton Township Board. He is one of three winners in the primary race along with Bradley J. Smith and Michael Young. Wilhoit, 39, was charged with murder in March in connection to the death of his wife, Elizabeth. Elizabeth Nikki Wilhoit. Nikki had been reported missing by friends on March 25th when police initially showed up at the Wilhoit home to investigate. Andrew told them they had gotten into a fight the night before, and Nikki was probably at her sister's, according to court documents. Police say they found blood in the master bedroom and bathroom and learned Nikki, who had recently successfully underwent chemo treatment, had filed for divorce on March 17th. God, dude, this fucking piece of shit. He looks like a thumb, too. Being questioned by Indiana State Police, a probable cause affidavit showed Andrew confessed to fatally striking Nikki in the face with a gallon-sized cement flower pot and then throwing her body in a nearby creek. Oh, fuck this dude. Fuck this dude. At this point, Andrew Wilhoit is on track to be on the November ballot in the general election. Yeah, the pro-life party. Scrappy, good point. The pro-life party. Fucking shit. No date has been scheduled in Wilhoit's murder trial. He must stay in jail until his trial, so it is not likely he would be released in time for the November election. If Wilhoit did win the general election, King says it would be possible for him to be administered an oath of office from his jail cell. He'd resign It would be up to the Republican Party to choose a replacement. No Democrats ran in the primary for the Clinton Township Board. Wow. Content warning, this one is going to piss you off. In Florida, a teacher has been fired, apparently after discussing sexual identities in the classroom.
All right, I think I have it now. Dennis. I don't think the sponsor...
The Florida art teacher also revealed to her students after they asked that she was pansexual. Art teacher believes that she was let go from her position instructing middle school kids in Florida because of a classroom discussion she opened up that broached the topic of sexual identity and orientation. Casey Scott, a middle school teacher, a middle school teacher, told WWBH News in an interview on Tuesday that she was fired from her position teaching at Trafalgar Middle School in Cape Coral. See if we have the interview here. Can we watch it? Yes. Let's do that.
How do you feel right now?
Really ashamed, I guess, disappointed, because I feel like it's all my fault, and I was just being myself.
That Cape Coral middle school teacher claims she was fired because she spoke with her students about sexuality. I'm Peter Bush.
And I'm Kelly Burns. She says her art students then drew flag pictures expressing their own sexuality, but school leaders forced her to crumple up those drawings and throw them out.
Awesome! Oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
She was fired. NBC 2's Dave Elias spoke with the former teacher today and the Lee County School District.
This is exactly what that bill was about. This, an innocuous fucking event in an art class that was fucking wholesome as shit. This is exactly what that bill was about. Fuck Republicans. Fuck.
Casey Scott is a first-year art teacher. She sat down with me today exclusively to say she believes that she was fired after some students here at Trafalgar Middle School began drawing LGBTQ flags.
A discussion happened in class, and because of that, now I'm fired.
That discussion?
Nothing wrong with that.
Middle school teacher Casey Scott centered on student sexuality.
A lot of the kids came out to me like, oh, well, I'm non-binary, and a couple kids said, oh, well, I'm bi. One kid said they're gay.
She claims students wondered about her.
Oh, I'm pansexual. So, I like anyone despite female, male.
And married to a man. She says some students asked to create art expressing their sexuality.
This one's a trans flag.
She hung the pictures on her classroom door.
They said that it would be in the best interest if I just got rid of them now.
She snapped these pictures showing how she got rid of them.
I went over to the recycling bin. I grabbed all of their flags, and all the kids were staring at me.
I'm sorry, amnestic.
And I crumbled their flags.
This is a bummer.
She was sent home, and then
I got a call from administration saying that, well, at this time, we are releasing you from your contract.
She showed us social media posts from students upset over her firing. However, the Lee County School District showed us complaints from parents and students explaining that they could create flags expressing who they are. Union President Kevin Daley says they can legally fire her.
During that probationary period,
I find it offensive.
They can let you go without cause.
She doesn't belong to the union. Daley believes the firing could be a wake-up call for teachers.
There is kind of a heightened sense of, where is the boundary and what are employees supposed to do, allowed to do, what to do when a topic comes up in discussion.
Her firing came days before the governor signed a law that limits LGBTQ talk in age-appropriate settings.
My concern is for the mental health of the transgender, non-binary students.
Already having a chilling effect.
Crystal Siscon believes the district made a mistake.
I would like to see a statement from the school board recognizing that they need to have a mental health counselor come in and speak with the children who are directly impacted by their actions toward this teacher.
The district telling me, quote, she was terminated for not following state-mandated curriculum. Dave Elias, NBC2.
Teachers should be allowed. I think the making the flags was an awesome teaching experience. That was fantastic. But hey, let's hear from PragerU about thought crimes. I think I just played an example of a thought crime. But what does PragerU consider a thought crime? I assume it's something having to do with right-wingers.
A tough job, but somebody's got to do it. You know, people think they can just walk around and have unsupervised conversations and access any information. It's craziness, I tell you. But we're here with the Thought Crimes Unit to put a stop to all that.
Who is this Steven Crowder or some shit?
Now, and I've seen some pretty crazy stuff. Just the other day, I was busting this guy who had a Walsh.
I'd be a female cop if it was Steven Crowder.
A post that was marked as false information on Facebook. Then I walk in there, and his son's doing all these finger guns, and we had to tackle the kid. Crazy times we live in. Some people think that they should just get off scot-free or be able to have their own ideas. Not me. People like that deserve to be in jail.
Unit 230, we've got
what?
A white male who has yet to renounce his privilege on social media.
Copy that. We're on our way. You know, these things happen from time to time, but this guy in particular, I don't
that
trust
poor puppy dog.
Facebook page, and he didn't even post a black square. All he posted was a Back the Blue campaign. What an animal. Then his neighbors reported.
No. Let me tell you what I say. A cab, motherfucker.
What sick guy is this? So we're just gonna go check it out.
We don't back the blue around here. We celebrate heroes. Heroes like Chris Dorner.
Thought Crimes Unit 230, open up. I know you're in there.
A-cab means this dude too.
It's Detective Witt with the Thought Crimes Unit. May I come in? Thank you.
Yes, what's
this fictitious cop with PragerU.
What are you doing in it? Is there anything I should be aware of in this apartment?
Yes, Disney is grooming consumers, just like every other business does.
Minding my own business.
Yeah. Well, we'll see about that. Nothing to be worried about, huh? Then what's this?
I can explain that.
Hey! You get back here. You little... Hey. We found out where he is. We're getting him.
Megan Thee Stallion needs a thought crime song.
After apprehending this scum,
that's a great idea.
Apartment and started searching, and let's just say it's not looking good for this guy. We found a lot of illicit material, stuff that our computers didn't even pick up, things that our fact checkers don't approve of. This man's in a world of hurt. He's
got Aunt Jemima.
Re-education camp.
He had some Uncle Ben's.
I love this job.
Cops is filmed on location with the men, women, and non-binary persons of law enforcement. All suspects are guilty as charged in the court of public opinion.
Am I gonna find anything illicit in here?
No.
You ready to sniff out the bad people? You ready? Huh?
That poor puppy.
Well, it's not mandatory, but the only reason...
God, how long is the outtakes? The video itself wasn't funny. The outtakes also aren't funny.
Spit in my face. I'm sorry.
And his neighbors reported that he didn't even wear 2 masks to the grocery store when he left his place. Oh, there's a cop behind me, actually.
Is there?
Yep. Oh.
What's up, guys? Thank you so much for watching this video.
Who is this dude?
PragerU is a 501c3 organization.
Who are you? That's a fucking... It should be investigated. It should not be a 501c.
I'd really appreciate your support.
I don't know who you even are, dude. Why would I care about your appreciation? You Will Witt. Will Witt? Yes. Will Witt decided to drop out of the University of Colorado Boulder. I assume you come from money, sir, after personally experiencing the left's relentless indoctrination of students. Now host of PragerU's Man on the Street, Will has amassed more than 700 million online views in just a few years' time. He has become a national best-selling author, popular international speaker, and is frequently featured on media outlets such as Fox News, The Daily Wire, and Blaze Media. Find out what everybody's problem is with Disney.
Boycott Disney! Boycott Disney!
What's up, guys? This is Will with PragerU. Today we are outside of Disneyland asking protesters.
This is his signature bit.
Let's do it. What is your problem with Disney?
Well, right now with everything. I thought, as a parent, I had kids that I would be able to put in front of the television watching a Disney movie while I was doing some work or while I was doing something else. And I thought, they're perfectly...
Oh, they're just going to regurgitate right-wing propaganda back at us.
Here today outside of Disney.
Well, I want to make everybody aware of the sexualization.
What's wrong with Disney is the shit that the Daily Wire and Fox News have spoon-fed them.
For the voiceless, and so that's why my friends and I are all here.
What is your problem with Disney?
I am old enough to remember them boycotting Disney for having a gay day.
Here because I feel like now is the time for conservative voices to be able to stand up, especially people that are cast members. It's the voice that's gotten pushed into the corner.
Yeah, I feel like I heard that woman speak when I was watching one of Producer Dave's streams.
Messaging to really indoctrinate.
She was with that Sean fucked guy.
And they're way too young to learn about that stuff. I can't stand for that.
Do you think that sexual content and gender content should be not taught to children?
Absolutely not. I was a sex crimes detective at Anaheim Police Department. And
what does that mean? I fucking love it. It's always like, I was special ops and I was investigating sex crimes. I was a sex crime detective. This motherfucker was a QAnon motherfucker. That's who he was. Wasn't a goddamn sex crimes detective. And if he was a sex crimes detective, knowing how fucking piss poor the solve rate is on sex crimes and how many untested rape kits there are in police stations across this country, I would say you're a shitty fucking sex crime investigator if you were, sir. Fuck off.
Schools, we would have arrested somebody for doing that. It's a criminal offense to show them pornography. Disneyland has said in the videos we've seen released from the corporate office that what they're going to do in the movies, showing them things that we have not okayed as parents. But again, the very things that they're doing are things that we normally would have arrested somebody for.
And the parents have voiced their disdain.
What have arrested somebody for?
They're speaking up everywhere, and they're being
I'm not high enough for this shit.
Horrible things like domestic terrorists. No, they're mama bears. They want to protect their children. They don't want any harm to them. Let the parents please teach them their values.
Grooming is just so unnecessary. It's disgusting, and I'm just trying to protect my future family and those kids that are already in these systems that they're trying to get groomed. The kids have a right to.
He ain't even have kids.
To grow up to be who they
ain't
want.
No woman fucking him, and he's out here protesting about what the shit Disney is showing.
To do that, and I think they need to get back to using their imagination and being kids, playing outside, riding their bikes, playing with other kids. I used to have the Disney passes. I used to have all this stuff. I've cleaned out all.
I think it is like the Disney stories used to be the whole damsel in distress. They were very paint by numbers. You would have, your Belle or your Ariel, and like they had to be rescued by a prince. It's very patriarchal, very paint by numbers. Fucking like now there's the fucking. I haven't seen any of the newer shit. The Incognito or the what Going Red or whatever. Like apparently like those are the types of movies they're really upset with. That like are more inclusive or more diverse families. The Going Red is about like a young girl getting her period or some shit. And like I saw somebody say that like Disney movies now concentrate on real world problems that these children face and fitting in and shit. And like, okay, good, cool. And that's what these motherfuckers, they don't like change. They don't like They don't like progress. That's why they're conservatives. They want to conserve the status quo.
All of my belongings of Disney, it's just not worth it. Like, how can I, in good faith, support a company that's so evil and against kids? I just don't get it.
So, working at Disney...
Against kids. Disney is against kids.
But other people you know who believe like you do, are they standing up too, or are you really doing this alone?
You know, there are people like me, and I do know quite a few, and
The music is grooving, though.
I feel like me standing here today is a representation of them. And
Right-wingers are morons. And in case anyone has not heard me clarify, that includes libertarians, that includes conservative Democrats. Right-wingers are morons.
gives them the hope and the fire and the drive to know that they're not alone. I've had so many people
A whole new world.
for sharing what I can't share because I'm afraid to share it. But I'm like, come on, someday that love, I just pray that that love would go into their hearts and like cast out that fear. And every time I speak, I'm terrified.
And it's just regular people standing up.
There's the Sean fucked motherfucker. That asshole. Nobody gives a shit what he has to say. I'm currently playing Kingdom Hearts 2. I'd played the first one. I've not played this. I already own the third one, 2.8 or whatever. So I thought during this Disney hysteria was a good time for me to go ahead and play the second one. The third one is optimized for the PS5. I got to play the second one first. I've done the Mulan. I've done the Beast Castle. Oh shit! I've done the Hercules. I did the Hercules level. I'm in Mickey's castle now, in the Disney castle. We talking about tetanus shots? I probably need to get a tetanus shot. Gaston wasn't in the castle. There was no Gaston in the Kingdom Hearts 2 representation. I don't know, it's been so long since I played Kingdom Hearts 1, I don't remember if he was in the first one. He's everybody's fucking favorite character. He's the coolest part of that movie. You know, no one fucking drinks like on. They do. They act like Disney's just gonna straight up show gay porn. Well, it's like fucking Ted Cruz said it. Ted Cruz said like they're having to show Mickey Mouse on what, Goofy or some shit. I probably gotta go to Twitter for this. And like he honestly said some stupid shit. Yeah. Was not hard to find.
I think there are people who are misguided, trying to drive, Disney stepping in saying, in every episode now they're going to have, Mickey and Pluto going at it. Like, really?
Thank you for that image, Senator.
But it's just like...
No, not really. No, this is Ted Cruz. I'm sorry. How the fuck is Matt Gaetz still in Congress? They're like fucking... No, not really, Ted Cruz. That doesn't happen.
Disney stepping in saying, in every episode now they're going to have, Mickey and Pluto going at it. Like, really?
Thank you for that image, Senator.
No, not really. That never happens.
Just like, come on, guys. Like these are kids, and you could always shift to Cinemax if you want that. Like, why do you have? It used to be. Look, I'm a dad. Like you used to.
Like that doesn't happen. What you just described isn't a thing. So yeah, come on, Senator. What the fuck are you talking about? Why is a United States senator talking about goddamn Disney? Unless it's to tax them or do away with their intellectual property rights to fucking Mickey Mouse, who should have been in the public domain years ago. You're gonna go after Disney, go after him for shit that, like, they genuinely did. He's a furry, confirmed. He's clearly thinking about Mickey on Pluto. I never had that image in my head. Dave Chappelle attacker Isaiah Lee rapped about comedian and his Trump phone. The right wing has been all up Dave Chappelle's ass since 2 nights ago. This Isaiah Lee, a 23-year-old, tried to attack Dave Chappelle on stage. Do we have the video of it? We'll watch that first. Chappelle was performing at the Hollywood Bowl. Apparently this is 1:46 a.m. on May 4th, so it probably happened on May 3rd. Would have been like Tuesday night.
History.
Well, shit, we don't. Not the best video. I'm amazed the dude was able to get up on the stage. This is him being wheeled out. Fuck! Oh shit! That's content warning. That motherfucker got his arm broke. Okay, here's a different video.
Was that Will Smith?
What, was Chris Rock with him?
Was that Will Smith?
Apparently Busta Rhymes was there as well and helped with the beatdown. I saw that Chappelle said, my buddies broke his arm. I'm feeling pretty good, or some shit like that on Twitter. Isaiah Lee, the 23-year-old who was arrested for attacking comedian Dave Chappelle Tuesday night at the Hollywood Bowl during a live Netflix show, is a wannabe rapper who laid down a 2020 track about the entertainer, along with another track about his Trump phone. Lee, who goes by No Name Trapper on social media, faces a felony assault with a deadly weapon charge in Tuesday's attack after it was determined that the maniac, their words not mine, had a weapon that could discharge a knife if used properly. Oh, I thought he was concealing it inside the gun. They don't have a picture of it. I'll get you a picture in a sec. Let's hear his track about Dave Chappelle, shall we? know if that is a prosthetic or if that's a fashion choice. This is his song called Trump Phone. I already like this beat a lot better.
On my Trump phone. On my Trump phone. On my Trump phone. Now on my Trump phone. Now on my Trump phone. Now on my Trump phone. On my Trump phone.
What? Do you have any other lyrics, sir? Don't like it. Don't like it.
Said I'm slipping, I'm falling and I can't get up. Said I'm slipping, I'm falling and I got to get up. Said I'm slipping, I'm falling and I can't get up.
The way he's done this picture, like the shading on the picture, makes it look like he's got like one of those like glue-on wigs or some shit. He got like a skull cap on.
I beat her back in. No, my niggas let her trap again. My niggas got the big diamonds like we African.
You are not good, sir. I don't think this is gonna help your street cred. Okay, Porg, what do you want me to listen to? Rocking two different hairlines. Did he Photoshop? Right, that isn't even Photoshop. It's like a filter or something that put devil horns and blood on him. Daily Beast reports that Lee's last known address is in Redondo Beach. It was discovered via an estate related to Lee's late grandmother. In that filing, it says that Lee was raised by his father's mother, who was a community activist in Brooklyn. I don't know what you're talking about, Porg. Give me a link. Oh no, you might not be able to post links. I don't know. Don't know what the YouTube settings are. Because YouTube is really fucking bad about the people showing up, so I probably got it turned off. In the Discord? I've been tagged. What's been going on? Oh, Warlord asked me if I watched the holiday special. No, I watched Return of the Jedi. Oh, there's the Christian flag pledge. I pledge allegiance to the Christian flag and to the Savior for whose kingdom it stands. One brotherhood, uniting all Christians in service and in love. There's good shit in the Discord. I need to spend more time in my own Discord. Thank you, Sassy. I didn't remember. Like I've recited a few times. Like I would go to vacation Bible school. I went to a Christian school, but we didn't recite that shit every morning. I don't remember doing any spells and incantations every morning. We had a Bible study class, but that was. I think like during Holy Week we did show. Like also like I don't fucking remember. That was my 8th grade year. Like I fucking remember that shit. I remember what girl I was into. I had the biggest crush on my 8th grade year. Like I was somewhere fucking else than being in a Christian school. Every day we stray further and further from Lucifer's light. I don't. Hell Satan. Stark raving. What is going on? Borg has asked me to react to a video. We're waiting to see what the video is. Warlord says, happy Revenge of the 5th. Oh, on the big screen, I gotta repack my bong. Give me a second and I'll toke 'em. Oh yeah, the fucking the Bible pledge. Lamp into my feet and a light into my path, that I may not sin against God. I enjoy sinning against God. I think if you're not sinning against God, you're not sinning right. That's just me. What do I know? I'm no theologian. I am a minister. I am a ordained minister. I can marry people. I always forget about it till like I get an email like, it's been 10 years since you were ordained as a minister. And like, oh shit, yeah, that's right. I am an ordained minister. I used to call myself the Minister of Mischief on the radio. When I came on, I would be like, I am the new media messiah, the Buddha of broadcasting, the Minister of Mischief, and the most controversial voice in all of America, Justin Freakin. I thought that was a little too pretentious, so I just dropped it. I dropped all of those. Put it in the Discord, Borg. Yeah. Got married by a guy in a Wonder Woman belt. Fucking awesome. I would assume you wouldn't do anything that have a little flair to it. Choke 'em up, bitches. Me, I'm bitches. Put the Hummer in humility. Is the rapper gonna sue Chappelle? Like he has no grounds for a suit, I would assume. That's something you can ask Sparkles. If you want, we can do. You want me to do this story tonight, and Sparkles can give you her legal opinion if he will be able to sue possibly the city, the venue owner, or something like that. It's possible that there's a case there. I kind of doubt it. There's probably some kind of release when you buy the ticket. Also, I don't know how the fuck he got there. I don't think we shouldn't feel too much sympathy for him, given the fact that he seems to be from a very affluent area. He probably comes from money that's able to finance that horrid rap career. People do sue all the time. They take a shot. But I don't know on what grounds he would have with which. Borg, where'd you go to? Say the guy is houseless? The story that we read said he was from Redondo Beach. Lee's last known address is in Redondo Beach, which was discovered to be an estate related to Lee's late grandmother. In that filing, it says Lee was raised by his father's mother, who was a community activist in Brooklyn. I don't know what his situation was. I just know, Redondo Beach is kind of a affluent. I think I'm not from California. Might need to ask. I mean, he could be. I mean, it says a filing related to his late grandmother. It doesn't say he's not homeless. May very well be homeless. That music we listened to sounded homeless. We listened to 2 of his rap songs. Homeless type beat. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that too low to call his music homeless? Did you hear it? Thank you for the clarity. Appreciate that, RB. Where the fuck did Porg go? All right, hey, Porg. I tell you what, let's do this. Drop it in the Discord. Sparkles and I will react to it tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is the Friday Night Freak Show. It will be me. That's okay, Porg. I didn't know you weren't on the Discord already. I hate that you had to go to all that trouble. But I tell you what, just drop it in there. I know how that goes with passwords. Oh my god. You can drop it in there. Sparkles and I will react to it tomorrow night because I'll have her here with me. Because tomorrow night is Friday night. Yes, Sparkles, I'm plugging our show tomorrow. You'll be next to me. We're gonna go out and do dinner. We always have a fun time. You can join us for our fun time tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. See who we got on tonight. Oh, Ninetales is on. Let's go hang out with Ninetales. Perfect. If you're watching on Twitch, we're going to go hang out with Ninetales Cosmic Fox. I don't know what's for dinner tomorrow night. We have not talked about it yet. Discuss that with you shortly. If you're watching on Twitch, you're heading over to Ninetales Cosmic Fox. Go ahead, light one up too. Oh, by the way, the YouTube people. I've got the ability to send you to YouTube people now, but I don't I don't know anybody on YouTube yet, so we're gonna make that happen so I can raid people on YouTube as well. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm Justin FREAKIN. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Troll Patrol live.